Yes, sir, man. Big 2,000-mile review and also 2-month review, man. Currently, I don't know if you guys are able to see that, we are at 2,061 miles, and today is Monday. This Thursday it would be exactly 2 months, so it's been 57 days that I've had the bike. And man, we're gonna get into a lot. I'm gonna tell y'all everything about what I love and like about this bike. Also, we'll get into what I don't like, which is not much, or that I wish the bike had on it. But I mean, once I get into the budget and everything and the bang for your buck on this bike, you know, it's really not anything else I don't think you could have. But it is a beautiful day, man. It's warm out here. I'm fully geared up, so I'm feeling a little warm, but we're gonna be good once we get on the E-way, man. We have made it downtown, baby. It's a nice day out, bro. Very, very nice day to be rolling, man. And looking at some scenery. It looks like we are arriving though, for real, man. 1 minute away. Oh my God, that's a beautiful view. Wow. So do we gotta pay for anything here? I thought it was like, you gotta pay for something, but this looks beautiful, bro. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy, Midwest Biker Boy, man. And from the intro, as y'all can see, man, we are out here at Belle Isle Park. It is an island right in Detroit here. It's pretty much just a big giant park. There's beaches here. It's beautiful. You'll see some of the views throughout the video. But today we are doing our 2-month, 2,000-mile review on our 2024 CFMoto 450ss. I got the bike, I want to say August 22nd. Today is the 20th of October. So we're about 57, 58 days to the 2 months. So it's about that time we can do this review, man. I have a lot that I'm going to get into today for the vehicle. Pretty much just tons of the things that I like on it. Things that I really don't like, but it's really not many because this is an amazing bike. It's probably the best first bike I could have ever bought. And I definitely recommend it to any new riders out there looking to get their first bike who don't want too much power, but want enough power to get on the freeway, you know, be able to do any kind of riding. This is definitely the bike. But yeah, if you guys just hang tight, we're going to get straight into this review. All right, so getting into the review, we are currently at exactly 2,101 miles. I've had the bike 58 days. This is my first bike. I am a beginner rider still. I took my MSF course, I want to say like mid-July, so about a month before I got the bike here. And I definitely recommend that if you're looking to get into motorcycle riding, definitely take the MSF course. They're going to tell you tons and tons of things that no YouTube video can tell you. I am a witness to that because I put in hours and hours of YouTube research before I got my first bike. And I can definitely say that MSF course just took my experience and my mindset to the higher level that it needs to be when you're on the road. So far as the maintenance that I've done on the bike, I did my oil change at the mileage it was supposed to. I've cleaned the chain at about 1,000 miles, and obviously I replaced the filter as well when I did that oil change. But other than that, man, I have not had not one issue with the CFMoto bike. I know a lot of people are kind of weary when it comes to those Chinese manufacturers, as far as the maintenance or how long they'll last. But so far for me, I've had a beautiful experience. I'm out here in Michigan, so I haven't really seen many certified CFMoto dealers. I got my bike directly from a dealer, but I'm not sure if they're even certified to work on these bikes. I had to look into that, but that probably be one of the only things I say negative about the bike. It's just that it's not many dealerships that are able to do the maintenance for these bikes. So I purchased this bike from Bright Power Sports. It is in Lincoln Park, Michigan. The MSRP was $56.99, but my out-the-door price was $9,224.84. That's obviously with just all the fees that are included when you get a vehicle from a dealership. And I put $2,000 down, and my payments are about $236 a month. So for me, that's not bad at all. So I definitely think for the price of this bike, you get a lot of features, a lot of bang for your buck, and we're going to get into that right now. A big thing that I love about this bike, man, is the accessibility of it. So for a beginner rider, I wanted to get something that I knew was easily accessible, far as cleaning the oil or cleaning the chain. And also the oil change filter is right under your handlebars, so you can literally get your hand in there, unscrew it, and put the new one in without having to take any fenders off. And also the chain is not covered, so you don't even need a stand to put the bike on and, you know, clean your chain. I don't have a stand for my bike, but I was still able to improvise and clean the chain without that stand, so that's awesome. So for the CFMoto, as you can see, I have a lot of miles on here, but unfortunately, CFMoto is a relatively new company, so the aftermarket variety is not that big. There are only like a handful of websites that I know of that you can get like customizable parts for this vehicle. The number one place being AliExpress. I have over probably 30, 40 parts from AliExpress alone on this vehicle. All of them are mainly cosmetic, but if you want to change the look of your bike, especially the CFMoto, definitely go to AliExpress. There are also a few American companies that sell parts for the vehicle, but it's not as wide and versatile, you know, as the international market is. So for me, probably my number one thing that I love about this bike is just the look of it, bro. I feel like this is the best looking bike in the market right now. I'm talking 600s, 1000s and above, you know. I feel like if I could put 1,000 cc's in this bike here with the same frame, the same exact look, I would be more in love, bro. But this bike is beautiful from head to toe, from every angle. It is the best bike that I've ever seen in my life. 5 to 6 grand, you know, it's not many bikes that are going to come with these winglets. These are aftermarket, but they still come with basic winglets. They're not going to come with LEDs like this. I mean, for example, you have the Ninja 500 out there. You have the Yamaha R3, which is slightly slower, but it's still around the CCs that, you know, this size bike would be in. And I'm not going to lie, none of them look half as good as this one does. So for me, I honestly think of this bike like a knockoff Ducati. You know, you're getting a lot of wings and curves in the bike, but you're not paying the Ducati price. No matter what I'm doing, I like to look good in what I'm doing. I like to pull up in style, whether I'm in a car or now a motorcycle. I know I'm pulling up in style in this, so this definitely checks off the style category by 1,000. So the next topic we'll be talking about for the CFMoto is honestly just the price of it, man. For the price you pay, $56.99 plus whatever your dealership fees are, you are getting a lot of features on the bike. You're probably getting one of the most best looking bikes in this class. And in my experience, with 2,000 miles, you're getting one of the most reliable bikes. To give you an idea, I did a little bit of research on the bikes that are around the same CCs as this. This is exactly 449. So the Ninja 500, it comes in at 451 cc, and the price for that ranges from $5,300 to $5,700. The ZX4R, which is more of like a track bike, it has a very, very high red line. It comes in at $9,000 to about $10,000. It has 399 cc's. And I mean, if you look at either of those bikes, I am not sure if the Ninja 500 comes with the basic CFT display. I know the ZX4R does, so they both have that. But for the price the ZX4R is, I think you're better off just getting the 600cc rather than that. But you know, everybody has their own opinion. But if you're looking to stay around the 450s range as far as CCs, 400 to 500, this is definitely the best bang for your buck bike. For anybody looking to get into the bike world, this bike is #1 on my list. And I say that because I watched tons and tons of videos on Chase on Two Wheels, you know, putting modifications into this bike, doing reviews on it, and it was just a no-brainer for me. For the price you pay for this bike, there's no other bike on the market that you're going to get the looks out of, the power out of, and also the reliability out of. So with it being a 450 Mini, you may be wondering, does it have enough power for the highways? And my question is definitely yes. If you go through my videos, you'll see that most of the time I am on the highway, and this vehicle is way more than enough for the highway. With the ECU flash that I just got on it, I can now get up to 70 miles in third gear. So obviously 4, 5, and 6, I can go well beyond that, which is all you need for the highway, man. If you can get up to 70 or 80 miles per hour, you really don't need much more than that. But this bike is capable of doing way more than 80, I can tell you that. And you guys might be asking yourselves, what makes a beginner bike good for a beginner? And to answer that question, I'll tell you a few things. So for this CFMoto, it has a very, very light clutch. So once you learn that friction zone, it is not hard to get used to it. The clutch is very, very light. A lot of times I'm pressing it in too much just because it almost feels like I'm barely touching it. So very light clutch. The bike is very nimble. I want to say it's anywhere from 370 to 390 pounds. So the bike is very easy to flick and lean. It also has ABS. So for a beginner, that's something very, very important because you don't want to be in the lean and you don't know how to get back up. This ABS is very strong on this bike. You really have to worry about low siding as long as you're riding the correct way. This bike ABS is strong enough to where it'll lean you up and get you out of a lot of situations if you're not functional on the controls. I also feel like with the bike having a gas gauge, that's very good for a beginner. I feel like when your fuel is low, like in your vehicle, you get nervous. But for a beginner on a bike that they don't know much about, I feel like it might be a little scary to not know where your gas is at. So CFMoto did a great job of including that. So I think that's a very important feature to have on a bike because even bikes like the Honda CBR 1000 RRR don't have, you know, a gas gauge. I'm not sure if the S1000 BMW has a gas gauge, you know, and those bikes are 3-4 times the price of this. So to me, it's a no-brainer on why you would choose the CFMoto as your first bike. I think a very good feature on the 450ss is the kickstand feature. So if you're stopped but you're in first gear and you put your kickstand down, the bike will automatically turn itself off. So I will demonstrate that right now. And also to go along with that, the vehicle is in gear, but it will not turn on with the kickstand down. As a beginner, it may be hard to build those habits early on. You know, things like always putting your kickstand down or putting your bike in neutral or, you know, not taking off with your kickstand down. The CFMoto prevents you from making those mistakes. So that's very, very great. But if you're ever worried about your bike being stolen, it has a handlebar lock as well as a tracker. And with the handlebar lock, even if they were to get the bike in gear and begin to roll it, it's just going to go in circles because it can't be turned more than what it's going right now. We're just going to briefly touch on the CFMoto app. So in this first screen here, you'll see it shows all my trips as well as the distance and how many times I leaned. It lets you check your ECU to make sure it's up to date. It shows a map of where your bike is at the time. And this is just like literally like an overview of everything about the bike. It's very interesting because not many bikes have this. I don't know if any other brand honestly has a bike app for them. So CFMoto is very
One other thing
unique
I
in
love
that.
about the bike is just putting a simple slip-on exhaust on makes an entirely huge difference. This bike is almost silent without it with the stock exhaust, but once you put on the aftermarket exhaust, it's loud, it sounds good, and I couldn't imagine if you were to put a full system on how the bike would sound. I also love how torquey the CFMoto 450ss is. For it to only have 449 cc's, it has a lot of low-end torque. So, you know, if you're on that throttle too much, even a little bit too much, you definitely feel it. And also for a $6,000 bike, you get stock front Brembo brakes. So, I mean, I don't know if it gets much better than that. You know, I know the Yamaha R1M has Brembo brakes, and that's a $20,000, $30,000 bike. Not many bikes are coming with Brembo brake stock on them, especially at this price range, $5,600, and you're getting Brembo brakes as well as ABS, as well as a TFT screen. On top of that, it also looks beautiful, a lot better than the many bikes that I've seen on the market. Now we're just going to lastly get into a few of the things that I don't like about the bike. So this is honestly nobody's fault, but I just want the same exact look of the bike, the same frame, but more power. They are coming out with the 675 SR pretty soon. I kind of wish I waited for that, but that's okay. But I still don't think even the 675 looks better than this bike here. So if I could just get this bike with 600 cc's, it would be the most perfect bike ever. Definitely wish there were more accessible parts from a lot more companies for this bike. I've only ridden one bike, to be honest. This is my only bike, my first bike. And I feel like the clutch is almost too light at this point. I haven't ridden a bike to tell you how a heavy one feels, but I know for sure that this one is light. So oftentimes you'll be getting ready to shift and you might accidentally flick your high beams on and then they're staying on for, 30, 40 minutes and you didn't realize it. It's a very major issue, but it happens about 50% of the time when I am riding. I think this is one of the most beginner-friendly bikes because of the ABS. It's very strong. So I believe for a more advanced rider, if you get on this bike and you're trying to lean it all the way over, it might be a little more difficult only because the bike just wants to straighten back up on you. It is not even an issue though. For a beginner, you want a bike that's not gonna fall or tip over on you. You want something that's gonna make you feel stable so you're, confident as you go on. I'll definitely say, even with the aftermarket windscreen, you still feel a lot of wind on the highway. I think it's just the aerodynamics of the bike itself. It's not really much you can do to change it, but the bike is also pretty light, so it's probably hard for a bike this light and to have the amount of power it has to also be able to block the wind out as well. And finally, I say my last complaint or issue I have with the bike, it's just that I feel like I've outgrown it quick. If you're a quick learner and you feel like that you'll pick up motorcycle riding quick, I recommend maybe getting something a little quicker than this if you expect to want to get a faster bike anyway. Um, with me riding 2,000 miles on the bike, I feel like I've gotten all I could out of it, even with the ECU flash that I put on it. So now I'm just kind of itching for something a little quicker. I want to go up to a 600. I would definitely do 1,000 as well. I don't know, man. I know even people say that even after a year of riding, you're still a beginner. So I don't know where my ceiling ends, man, because 2,000 miles in on this bike, and I feel like I know everything I need to know about it. I feel like I know all the power it has. I don't want to say I'm not scared of it because that's not a great thing to say. You should always be scared of a motorcycle. They're basically rocket ships on two wheels. But yeah, I'll definitely say you'll outgrow this bike quick if you're a quick learner and you understand the dynamics of the bike quickly. All right, fellas, so that'll conclude today's review on my 24 CFMoto 450ss. And I can honestly say this is the best decision I could have made as far as purchasing a beginner bike for my first bike. The 450 was a perfect range. It was enough for me to get up on the highways, but it's also not enough to the point where I'm scared of the power and I'm scared to ride it. It's that good in between, I can definitely say that. But all right, man, it was your boy Midwest Biker Boy. I hope you guys enjoyed my 2,000 mile review. For my beginners out there, if you have any questions regarding the CFMoto 450ss or any questions in general for a beginner like myself looking to join the motorcycle journey, please leave a comment down below. And yeah, I'm out, man. Peace.
Oh, are you rolling now?
I mean, no, you're good, bro.
Good. Tell me about this.
This might be good vibes for the video.
Tell me about this thing, dude.
I'll definitely hit you up there, man, because I don't have nobody to work on.
And you know what? This island is an old motorcycle racetrack. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
There's a section of the island most people don't know about. It's a motorcycle track.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Come, dude, come let me show you it real quick. It's right there.
That's cool. Yeah,
You set up? You gonna take the tripod down or anything?
yeah. I got a book bag over here. I'm gonna put this up. That was pretty sweet, bro.
Yeah, and there's just like little snippets of it that are left over, and this is one of them.
Yeah, that's fucking dope, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta come back here.
So, I'm gonna head to the beach and probably take a nap or something.
Okay.
Go get
Appreciate you, man.
You got my number.
Yes, sir. Hit me up, bro. I'm gonna text you.